Oh, and I gotta mention something about Goku as well. Going back to two, Goku has one of the best transformations ever, ever. That's Super Saiyan 4 in GT. To this day, I don't know any transformation better than that Super Saiyan 4 in GT. GT had its flaws, but one thing it didn't have a flaw in was that Super Saiyan 4. That was, yeah. So I gotta bring that back. All right. Anyway, back to the numbers. All right, doing just something a little different here. I was gonna have a sit and chill moment with y'all and talk about my favorite, one of my favorite animes of all time. Well, yeah, it is my favorite anime of all time, Dragon Ball. But answer a question that not only on YouTube but outside of YouTube that's been asked by me. Um, what is my favorite? Like what's my tier list of best to well not even worst, but what's my favorite? Who's my favorite Dragon Ball characters? And I'll give 10 in this video. I don't want to make it too long because I'm gonna give a name and then give a reason why. So I don't want the videos to be too long. But I'll give my top 10. Yeah, we'll stick to 10. We'll give my top 10 characters of all time. Now, let me be clear on something. When I give this 10, I'm not saying they're the strongest or anything like that. This is from as a kid to an adult now, who I've like which characters have I loved for certain reasons more than others. It could be for a reason in an episode. It could be they was cool. It could be I like their style. Whatever. It doesn't have to be because he was the strongest. I know for plot reasons for the most part, Goku, Jiren, and stuff like that. They're in the top tiers, Beerus and all them. But here's my top 10 favorite characters. And honestly, with y'all, it's been changing throughout the years of my life. So I watch Dragon Ball Heroes, which is on YouTube, but it's an advertising for a video game show. But I personally is just as good, if not better, than some Dragon Ball Super episodes. So I'll add that into this conversation too. But yeah, this is all for fun. Let me know in the comments who's your top 10 from old to new, whatever. And yeah. Anyway, so should I start from number one? I'll start from my best all the way down to 10. So usually they go from 10 to 1. I'm going to start from 1 to 10. And y'all should probably know. That's why I'm going to do this from first. Because y'all should probably know who my number one. I've said it in so many videos. I've talked about it. I've had his shirts and all that stuff. But Vegeta has always been number one. Since the day him and Nappa was traveling, even before he went to Earth. I thought he was just cool, bro. He was short as heck. Like when he stood next to Nappa, he was short as heck, but that brother was cool. And then when he came to Earth, and I'll never forget. Well, I know one of the things I hated when he first appeared on Earth was he turned to an ape. Because I was like, that ain't fair. Come on, you lose, he turned to an ape. But that was just me as a kid. And then I never forget when Krillin was about to stab him and kill Vegeta. I was a little sad because I was like, this is going to be the end of Vegeta. We're not going to see him again. We know that didn't happen. But still, that's what crossed my mind. But his character, his attitude, as a person who used to draw Dragon Ball a lot, he was one of I loved his character design to draw. Excuse me. Rest in peace to my cousin. I think that's another reason why he's important to me was he was important to my cousin. He was my favorite. It was his favorite character as well. And when he passed, I think my cousin, rest in peace to Brian, introduced me to Dragon Ball. I didn't know what it was until he introduced me to it. I was a kid, and he taught me how to draw it. He could have been working for Toriyama. That's how good he was with the artwork. I wasn't that good, but I was close. I did it for fun, and so did he. But he introduced me to Dragon Ball, and he loved Vegeta. I loved Vegeta. When he died, I think I carried that with me. But outside of that too, Vegeta's character, like his up and downs from being good to mid to bad to being crazy, like he was with Majin Vegeta. What he did with Namek, his crying when he, to see someone so full of himself also be so weak when he saw the end with Frieza and it was tearing. Him crying to Goku, like even in Super, like it's so much to explain about Vegeta. I don't make it too long, but even in Super, to see his progression as a father, as a husband, he ain't the best to show it, but he cares about his family. Like when Beerus slapped the Bulma, we knew that Vegeta moment, but I'll even outside of that, and it's funny because even Goku made fun of it at the end of that movie. My Bulma, that was hilarious. But it's seeing Vegeta go to future Trunks' timeline and seeing how Trunks was taking care of the people. You see Vegeta smiling, being happy. To see those moments, it was nice to see, and also the ups and downs battle wise of Vegeta, bro. Like I ain't gonna front, us Vegeta fans have it rough. Because, in my opinion, Vegeta should be winning some of these battles that he's been taking. Movies, TV shows, whatever. This brother gets the bad end of the stick, especially in the movies, bro. He talked all that trash in Broly to fall in 5 seconds. He acted all tough in the Bojack to get knocked out in a few seconds. He talked all that trash to Metal Cooler to almost get his leg snapped. It was just like, come on, can Vegeta. And then in Dragon Ball Super, one of the greatest Vegeta moments was when he fought Broly. He gets interrupted by Goku. It's like, at least let Vegeta fight to almost his last breath before Goku interfered. But the writers was like, nah, we're just going to have Goku just randomly take the spot. It was so random. Vegeta wasn't damaged. He didn't even go blue yet. And it was like, come on, bro. And the funny thing is, thinking about it now, I think Vegeta would have still won that battle. Because if my memory serves me correctly in that movie, I got to watch that again. That was such a good movie. But Goku Blue was winning until Frieza killed Bardock's father. I'm sorry, did I say Bardock? I meant Broly's father. And then Broly went berserk, and then he became almost unstoppable. So, in my opinion, if Broly's father didn't die, I think Vegeta would have turned Super Saiyan Blue, would have won it too, unless plot would have changed it. But, yeah, Vegeta, his whole character is amazing to me. I'm about to make this conversation way too long over one. So I'm gonna just leave it there, but Vegeta, everything. Then I like his new transformation there. I look forward to seeing more of that and seeing the details of it. Anyway, let's skip before I keep talking about it. Now, number 2 and 3, I was torn between these two, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna choose him. It's Goku, Kakarot. Kakarot had number 3. I'll tell you who number 3 is now. But I put it to number 2. Goku has been going up and down for me. One, because of the favoritism he gets in the show. He gets a lot of, like I just mentioned with Vegeta, he gets a lot of leeway, where he takes people's places, like Vegeta's place or other people's places. And I know it's because he's the main person of the story. But, I mean, come on now. He gets too much leeway, in my opinion. He's cool. Don't get me wrong. But one thing that dropped him, I remember I had him at 5 at a time, was Dragon Ball Super. The way he transitioned in attitude from Z to Super was insulting at a time. For a moment, it was insulting to see how he acted. He didn't even know what kissing his wife was. I never forget that episode when Vegeta was like, how do you not know what Trunks just did when Trunks kissed Mai? Her name is Mai. Yeah, Mai. And Goku's like, what is that? And Vegeta's like, you don't know what kissing is? You got kissed. He was like, yeah, he's been married to Chi-Chi that long, and he don't know what kissing is. I felt so bad for Chi-Chi. I'm like, bro, this woman already deals with him leaving all the time. But now she hasn't got a kiss from him? Goodness gracious. It was like he got it in with his wife to have his kids and then just left. It was like, goodness gracious, bro. But I really believe that was just how it was written. I wonder in the manga, did he say that? Was that scene or was that added for the TV show? But that, how he's, the childish attitudes he was having a lot in Dragon Ball Super. I love the fact that he wanted to fight and get better, but sometimes he did it in a very dumb way. Like, as much as I love the Tournament of Power, it never leaves my mind that all that could have been avoided if Goku wasn't so, I want to fight. I want to fight this person. I want to fight the strongest one. Let's do a tournament. It was like, can you calm down? Now he put his whole family at risk, and that's one thing I didn't like either, was how in the Tournament of Power, if my memory serves me correctly, he never visited Chi-Chi, Goten, or even thought about them or Pan when he was doing that. Like, you see Vegeta, he had a moment he was thinking about his family. There was no moment like that with Chi-Chi, if my memory serves me correctly. And I know some people are going to say, well, because he didn't want them to know. But even just him thinking about them for a moment, it was like, okay, come on, bro. Can you have a moment? And I know, like, again, it's how he's written, and I just don't like that. That's why I love that as a Vegeta fan, you see Vegeta even think about his family, think about Kaba and where he's from and all that stuff. It's like I wish Goku had more of that. That's why I loved it when he fought Goku Black, and when Goku Black told him that he killed his Chi-Chi in his timeline, and it made Goku show emotion. I was like, okay, I like that, but can he have emotion even outside of hearing that she died? Like, you should have to take that for you to show some emotion. And for crying out loud, I hope in the next TV show that he's in, please have a scene where he kisses Chi-Chi. Please. Please. Because after all these years of seeing that, and, you know, they've been together since Dragon Ball, and to hear that he doesn't, you know, that was, oh. But outside of all that, Goku, when it comes to the seriousness of his fights, even in Dragon Ball Heroes, I mean, this brother has some highlights. Outside of the corny attitude that he has, when he's in battle, he's for real. One of the most respected scenes I've had of Goku. That's why I said Z and Super is different. But in Z, I never forget when Gohan was talking back. And Piccolo was getting hurt, and Goku told Gohan to sit still, don't help. And Gohan was like, I ain't listening to you, and tried to fly away. Then Goku teleported and like knocked him down. And that look that Goku gave Gohan, like, you heard what I just said. That's something you usually see Vegeta doing. If Vegeta was Gohan's son, you would see Vegeta doing that to him. But to see Goku be serious and like, look, I'm trying to save your life. You do what I say. You know, I was like, okay, Goku can be serious when he wants to. Even in Z, you get a lot of that. It was just in Super. I don't know why they try to make him so goofy. I love Z and even GT's Goku outside of Kid Goku. I love for the most part. It was every now and then he annoyed me, like, why would you put your son in that harm's way with Cell? But I'm glad it all worked out. But outside of that, I'm talking about his attitude. His attitude in Super was so annoying, more than it was exciting. But overall, though, when you think of the whole package of Goku from Dragon Ball Z, the movies, Super, Heroes, he has a lot more good than bad. He does. And I got to tell myself that because it's true. I focus too much on that bad part, but he does have a lot more than a lot of good than bad. So Goku has to be number 2. Number 3, this is the person I was battling with, is that right there. That brother right there. Goku Black. Goku Black, I love that saga. I love Goku Black's attitude. Watch Dragon Ball. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball Heroes, watch Dragon Ball Heroes. I want Goku Black to come back to be like that. I think the saga of Goku Black was amazing. Him in Dragon Ball Heroes, which is hilarious because that was just a video game that was advertised as its own TV show. I mean, it was a TV show to advertise the video game. But I wish that situation with Goku Black was actually real canon. Because Goku Black with that mask, his attitude, what he did to a little spoiler, he killed 100 Gokus to get stronger and better and stuff like that. And he was, for that little moment, he was really good. And Goku Black, the Rose transformation, it came out of nowhere? Sure, but I thought that was a genius transformation. You know, I like it. I like his style. I like everything about him. My favorite moments with Goku Black is between him and Vegeta, because those are my favorite characters. And when Goku Black outsmarted Vegeta, and then when Vegeta came back and beat Goku Black down, one of the greatest Dragon Ball highlights. But yes, Goku Black. I've been talking too long, so I'm trying to slow down. Move a little quicker here. Number 4, Frieza. I was so relieved to see Frieza be asked in the Tournament of Power. I thought that was amazing. Frieza to me is like the Joker in superhero land. Like if y'all don't know, I always say Joker's the greatest villain of all time. I don't care if Thanos and what Darkseid can do. I love Joker. He's that dude, in my opinion. Yes, could you kill him easily? Sure. But how he's written, his overall, everything as a villain, I think is perfect. And I feel that way with Frieza. Frieza, terrifying, bro. I remember as a kid, I used to be scared of him. Every time he was on screen, I was wondering what that bro was going to do. Because he just sat there, just before the whole Final Form transformation, when he had the ears, and he would just sit on his little pod. He would just sit there and smile. And then randomly, IBs come out. It's like, bro, he was a savage with a smile. And he still is a savage with a smile. It was just, as a kid, that's what I first saw. And from Dragon Ball Z, bro, You didn't know when this brother ended, like when it comes to his transformations. When he was fighting Vegeta for the first time, I got excited because I'm like, oh, they're basically evenly matched. And then when that brother said I can transform, or when Vegeta called it out, something like that, and that brother transformed to that huge monster, I'm like, and then Piccolo comes and they was evenly matched. For then Frieza to transform again to that ugly looking toad looking thing. And then to find out that there was a last transformation, that final form, which was clean, bro. That transformation was clean. Did he look terrifying? No, but the scary part was he didn't look terrifying, but you knew he could destroy a whole planet in a blink of an eye. And what he did when he transformed to what he did to the Z Fighters, to Goku when he came to fight him, which by the way, Frieza created the best battle in all Dragon Ball history. Goku versus Vegeta is the best. I love all the other ones, but when I say the best, I'm talking about the moment. Like when I think about it as a kid, I didn't know Super Saiyan was even a thing. And you see, this when Kaioken Goku versus Frieza, and you didn't know how it was going to happen, and you thought it was over when Goku threw the Spirit Bomb. Then for Frieza to come back and did what he did, then for Goku, Frieza created one of the best moments in cartoon history, and I gotta give him credit for that. Frieza created the Super Saiyan. That moment, if you can go back, for those who are old enough, or even the first watchers now, because you can be new to it and watch now and still be surprised. But I'm thinking about that moment when Goku was getting angry. Because honestly, I didn't know what was going to happen. Because I'm like, how are you going to beat him? There's no, like, he already took out two people and Goku's in his last leg. Gohan ain't going to do nothing. It was like, what's going to happen? And for Goku to transform to Super Saiyan, I remember my brother and I and my cousin was like, what is this? Well, I'm sorry, I take that back. Not my cousin, he knew, but I didn't. And I was sitting there like, with the music in the background, dun, 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 like it was that. Oh, that moment was, dude. It created that created one of the greatest battles in cartoon history. And I love the Cell, Boo, all them sagas, Goku Black, but nothing tops that. And then for Frieza to come back in Super the first time, I thought the moment with Future Trunks, I was happy of Future Trunks because I didn't know who this brother was at the time. But to see Frieza get done so quickly, I was like, dang, bro. Dang. Well, I guess that's it for Frieza. But then for him to come back in Super, and I thought he came back cool. Golden Frieza was a genius idea. But for him to come back and for the Tournament of Power was intense. That was intense. When the assassins tried to come and kill Goku and Frieza before the Tournament of Power, to when Frieza approached all the Z fighters, Beerus is letting Frieza know don't start any funny stuff, and then his moments in the Tournament of Power. Yes, and just to think that all that Dragon Ball history, the one who defeats Jiren is Goku and Frieza, biggest rivals, and they're the one who win it for the universe. That was amazing. Like, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, that probably was a huge highlight. So yeah, Frieza's number 4. I look forward to seeing him as Black Frieza. I look forward to that. When I watched that moral arc, bro, and to see Black Frieza come out of nowhere, and to see what he did to Vegeta, and Ultra Instinct Goku, I was like, oh my goodness, how you gonna defeat that? Frieza basically beat you with one little hit. Destroyed the enemy that took y'all forever to try to beat, and he destroyed him in one hit. It was like, how strong is Frieza now? And I'm looking forward to hearing about that. So yeah, number 4 is Frieza. Number 5 is Dragon Ball Z, and I'm gonna make that clear. Dragon Ball Z version of Future Trunks. When I just mentioned about Frieza's moment and how he created the Super Saiyan moment for us, Future Trunks created a whole new season for us. And what I mean by that is, I'd never forget the first trailer of Trunks when they was announcing that there was a new season of Dragon Ball. And I'll never forget because I was so annoyed because it was like 6 months from now. It was like, wait, you going to show the little teaser now and then not come out to the summer? Or something like that? But it was a small teaser where you see these Frieza Force characters go at this dude in a purple jacket. You don't know who this guy is. It was before you heard his name. and he grabs the sword, and it was like black, and you just see the slice, and you just see him like this, and that was it. You saw him just slice it, and then that was it. I was like, who is this? Who is this? And then when you watch the show, his introduction, Future Trunks had one of the most cleanest introductions ever. And for him to easily take out Frieza the way he did. And I ain't gonna front, he had one of the, I never forget when he was doing all that. It looked funny at first, but the more you look at it, it grew on you. You used to let me know in the comments as a kid when you started to do that just for fun. My brother and I did. We thought it was the sickest thing in the world. But yeah. And his moments in the Android saga, even when he was yelling when he saw Android 17 and 18 about to revive 16 or wake him up, and Trunks yells, if they release that android, it'll be the end of us, and he powered up to do the beam. That scene was so intense because the androids are already scary enough, which yes, they're on this list, and I'll get to that in a second. They were scary enough, and then to have that music hype up for Trunks to freak out Super Saiyan and blast, and everybody, if even scared Vegeta, he looked back like, what the heck? That moment was intense. But Trunks then, from Trunks fighting Semi-Perfect Cell, I wish the writers gave him that victory, even though I know it would have ended the saga. But let me know in the comments, that Trunks could have beaten that Cell. But, Vegeta had to intervene because of his pride and let Future Cell happen, and the rest. But when Trunks went back and avenged Gohan and everybody else and took the androids out with ease, and Cell out with ease, and I was jacked. Like, that brother was jacked and all that stuff, and he is one of the best Super Saiyan style hairs at that time too. That was a highlight to this day, still is. So what number is that? 5. That's 5. Number 6. Oh, and I gotta mention something about Goku as well, going back to 2. Goku has one of the best transformations ever. Ever. That's Super Saiyan 4 and GT. To this day, I don't know any transformation better than that Super Saiyan 4 and GT. GT had its flaws, but one thing it didn't have a flaw in was that Super Saiyan 4. That was, yeah. So I gotta bring that back. All right. Anyway, back to the number. Number 6, Super Android 17. Super Android 17. You talk about a character getting done wrong. That has to be top tier. Outside of Vegeta, has to be top tier, bro. Super 17 should have wiped out everybody. I'm just being real. And that's weird to vote for a villain, but if you think about how he was written in, his powers, what he accomplished before they figured him out, and you telling me any of them was going to... No, he won that. It took writing to beat him. And what I mean by that is they could end the series with the Z Fighters losing. I've never felt bad for a villain as much as Super 18. And I like Super 18, but the more when his story started coming about with the Super 17 and all that stuff, I was like, this brother's scary, bro. He's scary and he cool at the same time with the whole, what he always did with his hair, and he is whooping tail. Let's just be real. He was whooping tail. Now, it is a debate is if Goku figured out that he gets stronger the more you beam him. If Goku knew that in the beginning, he would have beat, maybe. But the situation is he didn't know. And why would 17 share that? That's the one thing about villains in other movies and stuff that always confuse me. Why would you share one of your strengths so somebody can figure out the weakness? Super 17 was like, go ahead. I'm not going to share anything. And it took till it was too late for them to figure out. And I still say it's too late because Super 17 should have won that. You telling me that Super Dragon Fist killed 17 at Goku wasn't even Super Saiyan 4? But Super 17, in my opinion, is one of the most characters that is one of the top characters, that got done dirty because of plot. Dirty. Like, bro. It was like, I mean, in all fairness, 17 should have won that battle. But I will say 17 revealed one of my favorite Vegeta lines With I forgot what 17 said. He said, "I admire your ability to live," or something like that. And Vegeta's like, "And I admire your ability to die." And then he has one of the most coolest attacks, Final Shine attack. And of course, in written Vegeta fashion, it does nothing. Which I mean, Super 17's version, aspect, it makes sense because he takes on power. But yeah, 17 deserves a repeat Super 17, even though in Super he's a good guy now. Then at least make him a good guy that could do that to villains. I don't know what you could do, but I was so hurt. Like, I was like, bro, that's the way? Because I'm sitting there, because I like those tough villains where you be sitting there like, how are they going to win this? And you be sitting there like, please don't write something where it's a cop-out. In my opinion, that was a cop-out. Let me know in the comments if there's something I'm missing about that, and maybe I got to rewatch it. But I think that was one of the most cop-out situations ever. Kid Goku, no Super Saiyan 4, the Super Dragon Fist to beat him. All that power that Super 17 took from everybody, you telling me he lost like that? No. And he had one of the most sickest takedowns ever when it came to the Z Fighter before Goku showed up. I can't remember the details but I remember he was in the middle of Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, and Oob, I think it was as well. And he took them all out in seconds. And I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, Super 17 deserves my respect. Yeah, so there we go, 7. Okay, 8 is, and this is someone that doesn't get mentioned at all, but this is before Goku Black was ever a thing. His name is Turles. Turles is straight up cool. He is straight up cool in my opinion. That's the only reason he's on this list. That brother was cool. And then I love the fact that he came back in Dragon Ball Heroes, and he was cool in there. And a problem. And I'm like, shout out to the people who made Heroes, because y'all gave him respect and brought him back. And he wasn't just a pushover. He had some shine. So, and that moment between him and Vegeta was pretty cool too, with Turles and Vegeta. And I thought that was cool, like they're saying communication with each other. But, yeah, Turles is just straight up a cool character. I can't give much about him because there's not much about him besides the movie and Dragon Ball Heroes. But for those moments, I thought he was one of the coolest characters. He was, like I said, he was Goku Black before Goku Black, in my opinion. As a kid, when you see a guy that looks just like Goku and all that stuff, and he coming in terrorizing the earth with the tree and you think of, and then you see Goku Black, you're like, oh, I never forget when I first saw Goku Black, I thought it was Turles. And, well, I didn't think that, but I was like, oh, well, this is like a Turles situation. They just bring it into canon now. But yeah, Turles, there we go, number 8. Oh, I gotta get back to Goku's situation. I know I just talked about Super Saiyan 4, but it's another one that I gotta give credit to. That Super Saiyan 3 moment against Majin Buu. Dang. One of the longest screams in the whole world. One of the longest screams. That thing probably lasted the whole half of the episode. But I ain't gonna front. That was one of the best moments and one of the best transformations. I still say 4 is the best, but 3 is right there. I would take 4 and 3 over Ultra Instinct and Blue any day. And so, yeah, though that was another good moment. Number 9 for me, and he gets downgraded, so I'm glad he got a new transformation, is Piccolo. Anybody who knows Dragon Ball and the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, I say the beginning, that brother was scary. And I mean that in a good way. Like, to villains, to anybody. You didn't know what he was going to do. Especially, and I liked him in the movies. Like, I liked in Cooler's Revenge when he was saving Gohan. Like, that was sick. But Garlic Jr., like, those movies, Piccolo had some moments, bro. And they just made him just a side character later in the play. And I didn't like that. I was like, Piccolo should be right there with the Saiyans. When he, I hated the fact, too, in Dragon Ball Z, when he fused with Nail, that power lasted for a second. Because all it took was Frieza to transform, and all that strength was gone. Or when he, I love when he fought Cell the first time. I was like, that was cool. I love how the story kept giving him moments, but I don't think they gave it to him enough. And then after that, when the Buu Saga happened, it was like he was a side character just training Goten and Trunks, which I ain't gonna front was hilarious. That was hilarious. There was a hyperbolic tile chamber. That was a funny moment. But at the same time, it was like, come on, this is Piccolo we're talking about. That's why I'm glad in the superhero movie he got the new transformation, and I hope They don't just waste. They don't put that to waste. That is used for something really good, and he's not just a pushover. Hopefully, that transformation, he's up there with the Saiyans. He wants to be just as powerful, but close, where he can keep up with them. That's all I'm saying. So Piccolo deserves the nod. What was that, 9? All right, 10. I'm just going to give this person the credit because it was one episode, one scene that I'm like, she needs her credit. And she'll be in my top 10. Like I said, this stuff changes all the time. So for those who are like, what about this character? What about this character? I like a lot of characters, but I'm just on the top, off the top. I'm giving my numbers here. Videl. If you know, you know. Well, I'm going to say it. There's one episode in Super. And it's, I guess because I'm married and I want, I know my wife would do the same to me, but there's a episode where this lady was trying to mess up, or this dude, sorry, was trying to mess up this Gohan's relationship with Videl. And to be real, Videl, after the Buu saga, was very quiet. She was just put to the wayside. And I hated that. It was like she was Hercule's daughter. After that butt whooping she got, which wasn't fair with that big dude, she was really put to the corner. She was really, I don't know if that really made her okay, you know what, I just want to be a mom and that's it. I don't know. But she really got put to the side. But there was one episode where she was like, you are not messing up my marriage and my relationship. And she set that dude straight. I was like, she gets the nod. I like that. She ain't like some of these people that just hear anything and believe anything. She knows her man. She's like, he would not do that to his family. He would not be unfaithful to me. And I always will respect that. That's something that, and I put it number 10 because that's something my wife would do. Somebody trying to play a game with me. My wife ain't going to listen to them or question me. She knows what I'm about. I ain't about all that. And to know Videl was like that with her husband, she gets the nod from me. So she'll be number 10. And yes, I miss Gohan and I miss other people. There's Boo, Cell. There's so many, y'all. So I'm going to put those off the top. It could change. It could. It's open to change. But those are off the top in my head what I'm thinking about right now. I could have missed somebody and I'll be like, oh, shoot. I'll put this over there. But I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know in the comments who you think about. Who's your top 10? And yeah, y'all can change too. That's what's fun about this. Because I was going to put Beerus in this list as well. But I'm cool with what I chose for now. And then tomorrow I'll have a different one. Who knows? But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll check you later.